What's up, guys? Yojo Java back again. I had to do a video first thing in the morning. Hopefully you watched my short already because this whole thing just blew me away. I did not expect this to happen. So if you don't know, overnight, while you and I were both sleeping, the Haslab, the Rattler, not only passed the Dragonfly, but also passed the HISS for the #1 GI Joe Haslab ever. Now, I don't know about you, but that kind of blew me away. I knew it had the potential to do that, but the fact that it did happen, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't. I actually thought, I remember there was a poll out on social media, where's it going to fall? I thought, okay, maybe a little bit more than Dragonfly, right? But I did not, especially because it's the most expensive. I mean, this one was $324. No, his was $299, and the Dragonfly was $274. So this was the most expensive, and yet it still got to be #1, passing the HISS by about 600-700 units. So I'm looking right here right now. The official count, at least right now, as of 5:40 Central Time on the next morning, on the morning of the 10th, is 26,903. So that's 600-ish, 600, 700-ish more than the HISS, which, again, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's significant. So I was kind of shocked. I know it says it's going to ship fall 2025. God, you and I both know that's a joke, right? Like, we're not going to get it till at least winter, okay? Minimum winter, okay? Especially with the way they push back the Dragonfly, but you know how Hasbro works. But anyway, just going back and looking at it real quick, and I don't want to keep this that long. I had to get my thoughts out. First of all, I know there was a lot of excitement building up to Rattler. I know a lot of people were calling it. Like, I was checking on a lot of other social media websites and this. Everyone knew it was going to be a Rattler. I mean, we were so excited. Like I said, I even went out and purposely bought one of the old Rattlers because I got Wild Weasel and everything. And this is an awesome Rattler that I got at one of the toy shows. But that's how excited I was about this Haslab that I had to get the old one so I can put the new one right next to it, which apparently the new one, and I haven't seen it in real person because I was not at San Diego Comic-Con. I know some people were, and if you were, I'm jealous. But anyway, I know it's huge. It's gigantic. I backed 2 of them, so I'm super excited to get both. Super happy I got both, too. I was debating on whether I should get 1 or 2. So happy I got both. But now that we have this, right, what does this do for the future? That's where my mind goes, right? Because, it's funny because I always tell you guys I talked to my buddy Walker, Jonathan Walker, who's a Transformers guy, and he's always impressed by how well the GI Joe Haslabs do. He's always impressed because he says the Transformer Haslabs, when they come out, they don't get the bang the GI Joe does, right? Every GI Joe Haslab not only gets back, but all the tiers get unlocked. I mean, you and I both saw it, right? The last one, the Star Wars Mos Eisley, that one barely got backed. It took until the last 24, 48 hours for that to get backed. I mean, the Rattler was backed in 6 hours, some insane. Or sorry, 18 hours. My apologies, 18 hours. Some insane one like that. So 18 hours as opposed to literally waiting till the last 48 hours, right? It's 9-day difference. 9-day difference. So with that said, I mean, it's just really impressive that this got to 26,903. We were I remember on social media, people were worried that it would even hit the 3rd tier because, as we all know, the patches sucked. We know why we did it, why they did it. It was a money-saving issue, right? Because the Rattler was already expensive enough as it was, being the most expensive GI Joe Haslab ever at $324. They didn't want to make it more expensive than that, so they went with the patches, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't care about the patches. I may even throw them away, to be honest. Or if somebody wants them, I'll give it to them. Honestly, I'll just give it to them. But yes, come on, we were waiting for tier 2 with the Gunner and tier 3 with Baroness. And the fact that we not only hit the 18,000 for tier 3, but we blew it away and went to almost 27,000, making it the #1 backed Haslab, speaks volumes for where GI Joe can go. So I look around my room and I just look at all of these other old vintage GI Joes, and I'm which one could be next? And I know I said on my short, and I'm still standing by this. I still think it's going to be the Snowcat. Now, me personally, this was one of my favorite GI Joes growing up. Like, I love this. I love everything about the Snowcat. This was actually one of the first things I got when I got back into GI Joes. So that's my call, because I mean, if you look back at history, and you want to go back to Sky Striker, the first Haslab, right? The first one. So it went G.I. Joe, then it went Cobra with the Hiss, then it went G.I. Joe with the Dragonfly, then it went Cobra with the Rattler. So next up is G.I. Joe, right? Like, that only makes sense. So that's why I'm saying Snowcat. If I look around, I mean, are they going to do the bridge layer? I don't think so. Are they going to do the whale? Like, no way. I mean, that thing's huge, right? I mean, you're talking $400 or $500 easily for the whale, right? So I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't know if anything else really meets that level. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. We'll see, because I know that I mean, to me, I love the Cobra ones more, right? So I mean, I'm looking at the Hydrofoil right now. I'm looking at, you know, there's so many other Cobra ones that I could go with. I would love the Hydrofoil. Oh, that would be awesome, right? But yeah, so like, we'll see what happens. But my call is a Snowcat. So I do think that Hasbro executives, the powers that be, are going to sit back and look at this and say to themselves, hey, you know what, like, G.I. Joe, it's 100%, right? We know that if it goes, boom, we're going to get it. So I think that they're going to push the boundaries a little bit, maybe make the Snowcat really awesome. They may even do a whale, because they know that people are willing to spend $325. Maybe they'll spend $400. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. We'll see. But all I know is that I'm happy that I'm in the G.I. Joe world for the Haslab, as opposed to my buddy Walker, who's in the Transform world. He's frustrated. Like, I talked to him, and you know what he says to me? And I love his logic. But he's like, I gotta back the Transformer ones, because if I don't, they'll stop making them, and they won't get to be as good as the G.I. Joe ones. I mean, that's a compliment to us, right? Like, I'm super happy that we have the awesome Haslabs. They're coming out every year, and we back them. And not only do we back them big time, right away. We get it funded. We hit all the tiers. I mean, guys, I don't know. As a GI Joe community, hey, props to you, props to you, props to you. So again, hey, here's what I want to hear. Two things, right? Two things. Let me hear it in the comment section. Please put it below in the comment section. One, are you surprised that it beat the Hiss? Are you surprised that the Rattler just like took off, blew away the Dragonfly, beat the Hiss, and became the #1 Haslab? And two, what do you think is going to be next year's Haslab? Because I think again, I would love it. I would be #1 to back the Snowcat, because that's how much I love the Snowcat, and I do think it's going to be a GI Joe one. But I'd love to get your thoughts. I mean, there's tons of vehicles out there, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So let me hear about this. And yeah, I'm just super excited as always. So hey, subscribe, follow us. As always, you guys are awesome. Hey, Yo Joe Java, I'm out. Peace.